So it's now time to get sewing on this elusive, scrappy, whatever, jelly roll-ish race. Remember, these are 2.5 inch, or not 2.5, these should be 2.5 inch strips, but these are 2 inch. And the first wave of the jelly roll race quilt is typically sewing these all end to end, but since this was my beautiful binding, it's already done. So I'm gonna find the other end. One end's a purple end. I had that one in my hand. It's all in a wad still from my creatively dropping it on Trixie video portion from last time. And so I'm gonna find my end. I'm gonna get my thread all situated. I'm just gonna use whatever glide thread I can find because it's a scrappy quilt. So we're gonna have some scrappy thread choices. And so I'm gonna see how far it goes before I need to stop. I think usually there's about 16 passes, no, not 16. You fold it 2, 4, and then 8, and then 16, I think is the typical jelly roll amount, but I don't know what we're gonna end up with this. So I'm gonna sew it and snip it and sew it and snip it and sew it and snip it until I feel like it's a good width without being too awkward one way or another. And then we'll see what happens from there. So I'm gonna get my machine all set up and then it's time to get sewing. So we're gonna get lots of strip piecing over there. Usually when I'm doing a typical jelly roll race quilt, like the 2 I showed previously, I don't iron it until the end because it's been a timed thing to try and win the jelly roll race. And so I am gonna iron my seam in between each pass so that I have a feel of how big this is proportionally ending up, since I've got 2 inch versus 2.5 and who knows how long versus 42 strips all sewn together. So wish me luck and we'll see how this turns out. Maybe it'll just be a weird shaped table runner. So I'll see you over my machine. So just for reference, if I played that in real time and you watched that, you would have just sat through about 15 minutes of sewing one giant seam. So that's why I speed things up on most of the time. So I'm gonna fix this end because that got all twisted and didn't cut when I cut it in half. So I'm gonna fix that end, go press this out, and luckily from here, it should take half the time and then less and less and less each seam. And then just, you can see, that's how much is left on this bobbin, kind of unwinding it. So I'm gonna change that and get a fresh start so we can keep going. It matches my wall too. Trixie. In contrast, that took about 8 minutes to do that, and I did better at keeping it from flipping and twisting at the fold. And so, you want it? You checking it out? Yum yum. So now I've got to iron this open and then do it all again. And I guess I'm gonna get some help. Are you gonna help me iron? Oh, you're gonna bite me. Thank you. Just what I always wanted from my favorite kitten, to be bitten. So rude. So, iron it again, and then the next fold. So, let's do it. Come on, Trixie. You should iron it. Use your little paws. You're spicy tonight. So here's where we're at. I believe we're at 16 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I believe there's one more fold in half, and then that'll be a traditional amount of rows. And hello, Trixie, you're still here. And then we'll have a better idea of how big this is. And I'll have to kind of look at it and go, is it fine as it is? Do I want to add a border to make it more normal shaped? So I don't know. We're going to find out. But as you can see, some of my colors clumped together. But I think that's okay. It's working out just fine. So don't claw my mat. And so one more fold. I think I'm going to sew along this side so this kind of ends up a little more central, because that's like my biggest obvious chunk is these greens. But other than that, it's actually kind of cool looking. So from this little bobbin winder chewing weirdo, let's do it. Far enough back so you can see this in all its entirety, but it turned out like the perfect size. I haven't measured it yet, but I feel like it's very proportionate. I guess it's tailgating time for Trixie. So I think my light on too. That kind of made barely a difference, but I think with this being 2-inch strips and whatever length, I feel like it wasn't obviously as big as a jelly roll, because we ended up with this like almost like baby size, but I think it's like so good and so perfect. Sorry for this little weirdo rolling around here. You guys want your Trixie content. She is giving it to you. But look at these. It turned out so cute. And so I think, gosh, what are you eating? Stop it. Sorry about that. I think I might have, if this is less than a yard, I don't think it is. I think it's a little bit wider. But I might have a wide back that I bought at the Joann's liquidation sales that might go with this. I really hope it does. It's 108 inches wide. So if I need to like piece anything together, because I don't think I have any of this fabric left. As you can see, it was all made into binding. But I think it'll work, because then I'm going to have to figure out a binding for this quilt made out of binding. So yeah, I kind of love this. So we're going to come back next time and finish this up. I think I am going to have to quilt it densely, because some of these seams were a little scant. 2011 Emily wasn't quite as on it as 2025 Emily, but we can't blame our past, right? So on that note, I'm going to give you up close of this, as long as this little photo bomber stays out of the way. And then we're going to be back and give me some time to bind this up, or quilt it up first, bind it, and then be on its way. But it turned out so good. I'll have measurements by the next time, I promise. We'll have a better idea, since I'll have to put it into my long arm, but so good. So good.